Welcome back, everybody. So today we're going to have the next tasting of my base porter with Crystal 60L. This was 4.69% ABV, bottled on 12/18. Now, I believe that was 2019. No, 2020. Sorry. Yeah, because this is the beginning of 2022, and yeah, there's no way this was bottled a month ago. So what I've been doing, especially for tastings 2 through 3 and 4, usually, if they're the bombers, there's only 4 tastings. If it's a 12-ounce beer, then it could be up to 6, just depending on how many full bottles I get. So I know I only got 4. It wasn't done last month because this is the beginning of 2022. So this had to be bottled 12/18/2020. So let's go ahead and get this thing open. I guess the experiments with this is, how do the carbonation tablets do? I've got 7 kegs. I could bottle or keg all these if I made a 5-gallon batch. No way I would drink them all, so that's why I'm making the smaller batches. And especially on these porters and soon to be stouts, the goal was to see how the carbonation did and how the actual beer did, a year later. I've already done it with IPAs. I've got some that are over a year old. I'm hanging on to more for 2 years just to try them. So let's go ahead and get this open and see how this is. Now, this is using 7 small pearl carbonation tablets. Good hiss, good smoke. Most of the time, it depends on what you get. You can get the bigger carbonation tablets that are for 12 ounces. But in these bombers, if you use 2 of them, technically you're over by 2 ounces. So if you wanted to do it correctly, you would have to cut that second one in take a fourth of it off, let's just say. So the small pearls work better for me. I can see the head. I wanted to see how fast it was going to come up, but you can use the small pearls and get a little bit more detailed in how many you put in there. What I started with is 7, and I'm still working on 7 to see how it does. So let's go ahead and get this in here. Enough talking. I like the ABV of this, and I'm sure I said it in the first video. I don't go back and watch any of the other ones because I just want to see. Usually I'll watch them after I upload this one. I'll go back and watch like the first and the second one just to see how that is. But this is kind of where I want my porter. I've talked about it in other ones. Porters like 4.5 to 5.5, that's pushing it. Probably 5.25, somewhere in there. It's supposed to be an easy drinking, maybe light coffee, light chocolate, and that's about it. So head is dying down pretty quickly. I got something on top. Has to be part of a hop. What is that thing? Yeah, it looks like a hop particle. I'll just put it over there. Yeah. Okay, head is gone. That's fine. There's nothing really in here to keep head retention anyway. For the color, it's brown, but I almost want to say it's darkened up over the year. So this one is, if you're doing math, a year and a month old. So 13 months old. Yeah, I would say brown, not like dark brown. I don't have an amber hue at the bottom, but I want to say one of the last ones that I just did was lighter than this. But this is older. But yeah, usually on the front of these, I'll show you my chicken scratch. I put what is in there. So if this had like chocolate rye, I would put CR, or if it was chocolate wheat, I would put CW. So because this has nothing, it's just the base. So this is actually the first one I made. for whatever reason, instead of making the Crystal 40 version, I did the 60 version first. So let's go ahead and smell. I get that roasted malt. I get a little more like light roasted coffee, like a city roast, then a touch of bitter chocolate. But I think the coffee sticks out the most, but I would say a watered down roasted city coffee is what it smells like. Yeah, the roasted malts are there, but yeah, that coffee, and I don't know if it's because it's 13 months old, has taken over, I'm guessing, a little bit more than that chocolate. So let's go ahead and taste. More, that's weird. It's more a sweeter coffee. I don't put anything in my coffee black right out of the thing. I do put ice cubes in there to cool it down, so it's going to dilute it a little bit. But yeah, it's like sweet coffee. A sweeter coffee, even in the aftertaste. You could say that's from the chocolate. I mean, obviously, there's not cocoa nibs, any kind of chocolate in here, but it is coming through maybe in the aftertaste. Like that coffee flavor is there, but my brain's going to the chocolate sweetness is what's making that sweeter coffee, which doesn't really make sense because it's only 4.5% ABV, 4.69. Huh. I could drink that all day. It's probably just me. Yeah, very light, easy drinking. Because it's a porter, it does. I think that coffee is a little too much. Like it aged too much, and it doesn't match the body. Like you have that light body, but that bigger sweet or sweet coffee is coming through. Um, it's almost like this beer should have been kept in the fermenter for 13 months, then put in a barrel. Like, because of that coffee, but I'm not sure where the sweetness is coming from. If I remember right, all these should have been like 5.5, and because it was under attenuated, yes, there could be some more sweetness in there, but you're not off by much. But it does feel, yeah, that roasted city coffee is taking over more than the sweetness is coming from chocolate, like you added cocoa nibs or something to this. But I like it. I like coffee. I like that coffee in the porter. I can like it in a stout, but I think if you're a coffee fan, I would try and go for those porters more than those stouts because you're going to get a bigger grain bill. The SRM of your grains, specialty grains, is going to be higher. So you're not going to get that much coffee that stands out. More roasted, almost ashy burnt. So going to a porter, you're using lighter SR. Like I'm salivating. You're using lighter malts, so maybe that coffee can fight through that, and that's why it's coming out. I just can't explain the sweetness. But yeah, overall, definitely a good one. So if you made anything like this, leave it in the comments. Tell me what you made and maybe the recipe. And if you enjoyed this review, check some more out over here. And until next time, happy brewing.